Question for you. Ask yourself, who is the Antichrist? Isn't this everybody's favorite subject? I know. I said that. All these names started popping into your head. Barack Obama, Javier Solana, somebody over somewhere. Could it be that you are the Antichrist? Is it you? How could that be? What did John say about the Antichrist? Where is Antichrist found in the Bible? What context? 1 John says, who is a liar but he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ? He is Antichrist, that denieth the Father and the Son. Who does that? Who does that? Obviously the people who don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. People who don't say Jesus is the Messiah. People that say Jesus wasn't the Messiah or there is no Messiah. Okay? But what if you say Yeshua is the Messiah? You can't be Antichrist, right? Now if you know what the Messiah is, you understand Christ means Messiah, Mashiach. What does that mean? Anointed one. Okay. Anointed is what? Two things. Two things. Priest and a king. Right? Do you believe that Jesus is your king? Okay. You do. Great. What about your high priest? Do you believe Jesus is your high priest? Do you know he's our high priest on the order of Melchizedek? Or do you think that he's a priest on the order of Aaron? Do you think that Christ is a mediator of the old covenant or the new? The new. Okay. Why then do you say we need to keep any aspect of the law of Moses for salvation, for holiness? Why? Because you deny that Jesus is the Christ, that's why. Because if you do that, then you're setting up Moses as your priest. Aaron as your priest. Moses as your mediator. There's one mediator. Christ. Understand? Let me ask you this. Help put it in perspective. Do you understand that Christ fulfilled the law? Okay. Didn't he say he came not to abolish the law, to fulfill it? Yes. You got that he didn't come to abolish it part, but you didn't get that he came to fulfill it part, did you? Why is it so hard to understand? I don't know. Let me ask you this. Why? Let me ask you who keep the Sabbath, you who keep the biblical feast, you who eat kosher, no bacon for you. Why don't you sacrifice animals? Oh, because Christ is our sacrifice. You understand that? Because he fulfilled the sacrifice. Right. He fulfilled the law. You understand that, and you say that, oh, we don't have to sacrifice animals. Somebody asks you why, you'll say, well, the sacrifices weren't part of the original plan. They were added because of transgressions. And you'll quote Jeremiah or something. Okay. The whole law was added because of transgressions. And then you'll say, well, how do you say that we don't keep the Torah? We don't have to keep the Torah. Then doesn't that mean that God changed? No, people changed. The reason God gave the law in the first place is because people changed, not because God changed. His plan has always been the same. Okay? No? You understand that? I hope you're starting to get it. Really hope so. It'd be great. Okay. So, do we have to keep the Sabbath? Yeah. You gotta keep the Sabbath. Do you know what the Sabbath is? Christ came to give us rest. Are you abiding in Him? Are you keeping the Sabbath? Do we have to keep Passover? Christ, our Passover, sacrificed for us. Yeah, I'd say we have to keep the Passover. Better abide in Christ. Are you keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread? Are you keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread? No. Have you purged out the leaven of the doctrine of the Pharisees that Jesus warned his first disciples about? Have you purged out that leaven? That's what you need to do now, because you know what you've been doing. You haven't been keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You've been feasting on the leaven of the doctrine of the Pharisees. You've been looking to the Pharisees on how to keep the feast. Hello? Do you even know who the Pharisees are? You say, well, I want to keep the Torah, right? How am I going to do that? Well, let me just look at the Jewish religion, and let me just see how they do it. Let me go look at people, Antichrist people, who deny that Jesus is the Messiah. And let me learn to be holy and pleasing to God by doing things the way they do it. You know, the practitioners of the Jewish religion today are the modern Pharisees. The Jewish religion today, the Pharisees, that was the sect that survived. And all of them are Pharisees. And you are calling them your brothers and sisters. And you're looking to them to teach you how to please Jesus, whom they deny is the Christ, which means they're Antichrist. Whoa! And you think you're not going to be in trouble. You might even call me an anti-Semite or something, because I don't listen to the Pharisees. The same ones that Jesus called brood of vipers. He warned us to beware of this. Okay? You have to understand, if you deny that Jesus fulfilled the law, if you deny He is sufficient, you are Antichrist. You are Antichrist. And you're in trouble. So why don't you start keeping the law of the Spirit? Why don't you read a book about it? I got a good one for you. It's called the New Testament. Check that one out. Because you have need to go back. Read the basic stuff. Galatians. Read it again. I don't care how many times you've read it before. You didn't get it. Go read it again. Hebrews. You don't get it. Go read it. Please. I care about people. I don't care if people hate me. I don't care what they call me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm warning you. You need to get away from this, from the doctrines of devils. Beware. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. Is that so hard to understand? Those aren't my words. Okay? Not my words. Not my opinion. I like it if I could just say happy things all the time and be nice to everybody. If I had my way, I'd be down at the beach right now. It's not about my will. It's about His will. Therefore, give this to you. It's food for thought.